here. What do you give on it? 25, 50, 75, $100,000. You are listening to the Auction is Action with You in It podcast presented by Call to Auction, where our favorite four-letter word is S-O-L-D. Sold. Welcome back to the Auction is Action with You in It podcast. Today, I want to talk directly to nonprofit leaders, executive directors, and development professionals and board members. Because there's something I see every year at fundraising events, and it's costing organizations real money. Most nonprofits think fundraising success happens on event night. It doesn't. The biggest fundraising wins or losses are decided long before the auctioneer ever steps on stage. I'm Bobby D. I'm a fundraising auctioneer consultant, founder of Call to Auction, and strategist and your podcast host. And for more than 2 decades, I've worked alongside nonprofits across the country, helping them to design and lead live fundraising moments that raise real money and feel good doing it. And what I've learned is simple. Great fundraising is not discovered in the room. It's designed ahead of time. Let me start with a common pattern. A nonprofit reaches out a few weeks before their gala and says, "We just need someone to run the auction. We just need somebody to come in for 15 minutes. They've got the items, they've got the paddle raise planned, and they've got to run a show. And they just need someone with a microphone." And that's usually where money is left on the table. Because an auctioneer's real job isn't to talk fast, it's not to entertain, and it's definitely not to fill time. What nonprofits are really buying, whether they realize it or not, is leadership during the most emotionally and financially important moments of the night. And leadership starts before event night. Now let's talk about the difference between performance and fundraising strategy. Performance is what you see on stage. Strategy is everything that makes performance work. You can have a phenomenal auctioneer, great energy, strong voice, smooth delivery, but if the fundraising strategy isn't clear, that performance can't save it. So what does consultation actually mean? Because I know the word can sound intimidating. Now, when nonprofits hear consultation, they often think more meetings, more costs, more theory, more yada, 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 yada. But in reality, consultation is just about clarity. It means designing the live program so donors know exactly what's being asked of them, aligning the auction, the paddle raise, and the messaging, deciding on what belongs on stage and what doesn't, setting clear financial goals before anyone raises a paddle. Consultation removes guesswork. And here's why that matters. When donors feel rushed, they freeze. When donors feel confused, they disengage. When donors feel pressured, they resist. No amount of energy can overcome that. Strategy creates safety, and safety creates generosity. Now let's break this into 3 phases. Before the event, during the event, and after the event. Now, before the event, strategy looks like this. We structure the live auction to build momentum, not exhaust the room. We design the paddle race so donors understand why they're being asked, what their gift does, and how they can participate comfortably at any level. We coach the board on their role, not just to show up, but lead by example. We review the run of show to protect the fundraising moments instead of rushing through them. Now, all of this happens before event night. And that's where revenue is designed. During the event, performance takes over, but strategy guides it. A professional auctioneer isn't just calling bids, they're reading the room, they're managing energy. They know when to pause and when to push. They're protecting your donor experience. They're keeping the mission front and center. They're keeping clarity in moments that can easily become awkward or uncomfortable. That's not entertainment. That's leadership. And after the event, strategy shows up again. Donors leave feeling proud, not pressured. Boards understand what worked and why. Staff can replicate success instead of starting from scratch next year. And that's how fundraising becomes repeatable. Now, here's an important truth. A great auctioneer without strategy is like a great speaker with no plan. They can inspire, they can entertain, but they can't fix unclear offers, bad timing, confusing messaging, or unrealistic expectations. Performance amplifies strategy. It can't replace it. So how can a nonprofit tell if they're getting true consultation or just someone with a mic? Here's a few simple questions to ask your auctioneer. Now, do they ask about your financial goals before discussing price? Do they review you run a show or just show up and wing it? Do they help you design the paddle raise levels? Do they coach board members and speakers on their role? Do they talk more about donors and your mission or more about themselves? If the focus is only on performance, you're likely missing the strategic layer that drives results. The most successful fundraising events aren't louder,
They're clearer, they're calmer, they're intentionally designed. And when consultation and performance work together, fundraising stops feeling stressful and it starts feeling purposeful. Now, here's the takeaway. The best fundraising results don't come from hoping it goes well in the room. They come from thoughtful strategy, intentional preparation, and confident leadership on stage. The auctioneer is the final amplifier, but the work starts long before the mic is turned on. Now, whether you work with me or one of my colleagues, my hope is this. Design your fundraising event on purpose. Your donors deserve it, your board deserves it, and your mission depends on it. I want to thank you all again listening to the Auction is Action with You in It podcast. Now, if this episode was helpful, share it with a board member or colleague who's been planning an upcoming event. Again, I want to thank you all for your hard work that you are doing in the world to make huge impact on your mission with your fundraising events. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you, everyone. My name is Bobby D, your podcast host with calltoauction.com. We'll see you next time.